Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's another beautiful day and geez, it's been a minute. I know I left you guys all hanging on my mommy makeover journey. I originally wanted to update you guys weekly, but that didn't happen, and I cannot change the past, but I am here now to give you guys my whole experience. I am about to be 5 months post-op. It's crazy, right? Crazy how fast yet how slow this whole journey has been. Let me tell you that it went by pretty fast, but at the time it felt like the time was going so slow. But anyway, so I am not here to promote plastic surgery. So if you are against plastic surgery, please, this video is not for you. Just come back on my next video. But I'm not here to change your mind. I respect your thoughts and your opinion. I'm just here in case you're someone that is thinking about going through this procedure. I hope you find this video helpful, because there is a lot of things that I wish I knew before going through this surgery. But anyway, so make sure that you grab your popcorn, something to snack on, because you're gonna be sitting here with me for a while. I hope you do. So make sure that you go grab that, and then we can get right into it. Okay, so I'm going to be answering some of the questions that I saw a lot on my previous vlog. And in case I missed something, just make sure that you leave them down in the comment section. I will be more than happy to answer them on a future video. So the first question was, who was my doctor? So I did share, on the vlog that I went to Tijuana, Mexico with Dr. Campos at Lotus Med Group. Let me tell you that was the best decision ever. He is absolutely amazing. I knew, it's crazy because I knew that I made the right choice. I made the right choice going with him. Let me tell you, since I didn't get to meet doctor in person, to the day of my surgery. I had my 1-hour consultation with him before surgery. So that's when, he sees me completely naked and go over, the areas and ask me on what I want and everything. But let me tell you, since that moment that he walked into the room, he made me feel welcome. He made me feel like I knew him. He was very friendly yet very straightforward. So I love that about him. So I definitely recommend him. Of course, if you're thinking about going through this surgery, make sure you do your research on whatever doctor you choose. Just make sure that he is the one that you are putting your life at risk with, because this procedure is, one of the highest risk procedures to go through. So make sure that the doctor is the one that you're trusting your life with. The next question is, what did I get done? So I got a whole mommy makeover. Now let me tell you, originally I just wanted to get my hip dips filled and my waist defined, since after working out, that was just the hardest for me to lose, was all of that fat behind my back, and of course my love handles. And of course, after 5 pregnancies, I just was not able to get anything tight up in there. But anyway, so when I sent my pictures over to the doctor, he got back with me with a quote and what he suggested for me to get, which included in there a whole tummy tuck. Now let me tell you, I originally did not think, it never crossed my mind to get a tummy tuck ever, especially because I have never had a C-section. So I was scared to even think of the possibility of me getting a tummy tuck. But I am so thankful I did, because the results, I think, are amazing. And the day of the consultation that I saw the doctor, he had explained to me why he recommends the whole tummy tuck, because I did. Even that day I asked him, is it really necessary? Do I really need the tummy tuck? But he said, yeah, if you want everything to look how you want it to look, the tummy tuck is necessary, because otherwise, after if you just get lipo in the BBL, you're just going to have the extra skin hanging. So I got the whole mommy makeover, which also I got extra my breast revision. A couple years ago I got my breasts done, but they were too high, so I ended up getting that fixed with my doctor. So I honestly think that it was a really good decision, because yeah, they're back to where they're supposed to. Now, the question that everybody wants to know is, how much did I pay? How much was my surgery? Now, let me tell you, keep in mind, if you're thinking about going through this surgery, make sure that you save extra money, because there's a lot of cost that it's crazy. It's crazy because I wish I knew that, going through this surgery was going to be pricey. It was going to be really expensive. Not only the surgery, but everything after that. So I ended up paying $13,500 for my surgery. Now, keep in mind, originally the doctor quoted me for what he quoted me was a total of $8,500, which included the tummy tuck, the abdominal wall repair, the lipo in the waist and the back, the lower back, not the back, because I got that extra. So the lower back. So fat grafting on the butt, one post-surgical faja. That's the faja, they put on you after surgery. And then 1 week post-op medication. The 1 night stay, since I did have a tummy tuck, I was required to stay there overnight. And then the 5 post-op, the 5 post-op lymphatic massages. Now, that was just included, with the $8,500. So now every additional area that you wanted was an additional $1,000, which I did end up getting, and that's why I paid $13,500. And also because I did get my breast revision, so that was $1,500 extra. And then I did get J plasma on my upper back, and I also got fat grafting on my legs, just so like that, everything looked proportioned. So I paid $13,500 for the surgery itself. The day that I booked my appointment, I was required to put a $1,000 deposit, which that went towards, the surgery fee. And then the day of surgery, I was required to pay everything else. So yeah, so be prepared, especially if you think that you want extra areas, then just be prepared with a little bit extra cash. So I did stay at the recovery home. The medical center have sent over 5 of the recovery homes that they work with, and Palmas Recovery was one of them. Now, let me tell you, when I was looking for the recovery home, I obviously called all of those 5 different recovery homes, but not all of them accepted a male to go in there with you. So, because my husband was going with me, so I had to make sure that he was okay to stay over at the recovery home as well. So Palmas Recovery accepted male in there. So I booked for a private room. The only thing that I didn't like was that my husband had to share, the same bathroom as everybody else. We didn't have our own private bathroom, so that's the only thing that I didn't like. But overall, I had a really good experience. The staff there, the nurses there were amazing. They're so nice, so friendly, so kind. So it was amazing, because the last thing that you want to worry about when you're in the healing process and recovering, it's about just having the bad vibe, the bad energy. But no, everything was really good. I love that I didn't have to worry about what was I going to eat and who was going to take me to my lymphatic massages, especially because we were going to be there for a whole week. I ended up not staying the whole week. We only stayed there for 5 days, but even those 5 days, they were really, really good. So everything was so smooth. I did have a little complication, when they were picking me up from the airport, but that was it. Other than that, everything was really, really good. So I highly recommend, if you're thinking about going out of the country, I recommend to stay at recovery home, so like that you have a really smooth recovery and you don't have to worry about anything. You have somebody by your side, because you are required, from help, especially if you're getting the whole tummy tuck and BBL at the same time. You are required for someone to help you get up and go back in the bed, and just with all the little things. I didn't ask for so much help, from the nurses. Like I said, my husband was there, so he was able to help me. But like in the shower or putting on the foams and all of that stuff, the nurses helped me out, so it was really good. And then on those nights, that I felt like I was sitting on my butt, like I will call them and then they will come in right away to help me out. And then also with my medications, I didn't have to worry about that either. So overall, 10 out of 10. So now the question that everybody wants to know is, how much was everything? You know, how much that it cost me for everything. Now let me tell you that, like I said, you know, when you're thinking about going to this procedure, be prepared because it is expensive, like especially the aftercare. You know, like if you already thought that the surgery was expensive, no, everything that comes after, está más. So for me, overall, I think I paid about $20,000, which that included, you know, that's including my surgery. And then the recovery home. The recovery home was 1,150. Again, that was for me and my husband for 5 days. We didn't stay for the whole week since we did fly back 2 days before, but that was 1,150, which covered, you know, the help from the nurses 24/7. It also included transportation to and from my lymphatic massages. The cool thing about the nurses, you know, the recovery home, was that the nurses were always with me. I never went anywhere by myself. You know, the nurses will go with me and then they come back with me, so that was amazing. So yeah, so it was the recovery home for that. And then he also covered, of course, you know, the 3 meals for me and my husband, plus the snacks. And what else? And I did pay a little extra, you know, so that the recovery home could take me and pick me up from the airport. And then another expense was the airplane. You know, since we did fly from Arizona to California, and then from California they picked us up, and then, you know, we fly back and forth, you know, so that was $1,000. So my husband got first class. I honestly don't think that the first class was necessary for the trip over there, you know, but for the trip back, then yes, absolutely, you know, especially because you're so uncomfortable. You don't want to have to worry about bothering the person next to you, and you want to be able to move around, you know, so to get comfortable. There's no such thing as being comfortable, let me tell you, but you at least want to move around freely. So yeah, so that was $1,000. I mean, if you could cut that, you know, and drive, but honestly, I don't know. I personally don't think that I would have been able to drive and be on my knees for more than 4 hours, because obviously, you know, with the surgery, the whole mommy makeover, you're not able to lay on your stomach or lay on your back. So I don't know, I wouldn't be able to do that on my knees for that long, especially too because after surgery it's very important for your legs to move around, so like that you don't get any blood clots. So yeah, so for me, driving was not an option. So the flight, you know, that was $1,000. And then I also, you know, and because I didn't have passports, me and my husband didn't have passports, so that was an additional $500 to that. But of course, if you already have them, then you don't have to worry. And this is only if you're going out of country. Okay, so I'm pretty sure if you stay here in the States, then it's probably cheaper. So another thing, because of the doctor visit, I am private pay, so I had to pay $160, you know, to see my doctor, so like that she can give me a referral for blood work and AKG. I don't know if there's another way for you to do that, but you know, since before surgery you are required to do a whole bunch of blood tests and an AKG. So I saw my doctor for that, and then the blood work was $380. And then, of course, you know, I have 5 kids, so I had to pay a babysitter. Plus, you know, I had to make sure that they had food for the whole time I was out. So that was another extra expense. And plus, the lymphatic massages afterwards. That, for me, you know, I think the first time that I went to just one visit, which, let me tell you that that's another thing. The hardest part, you know, was finding a massage therapist that did lymphatic massages, but the first visit that I went to, that one charged me $130. So I didn't like it. I didn't go back to her, but I found another girl that she charged me $700 for 12 sessions, which it wasn't bad compared to all of the other places. But yeah, be prepared, because that is something that you need, you know, after your surgery. So you do need lymphatic massages. And then after that, you know, you have all of the extra supplies. you know, you're gonna need your mattress, your pillows, your pee funnel, your extra fajas, your stage 2 faja, all of the foods, extra vitamins. You know, now you are in a high fiber, high protein diet, so of course you need a lot of fiber, a lot of protein, and just all of the extra supplies. So yeah, so it is very pricey. It is pricey for me. Like I said, I paid about $20,000 after everything. And even now, you know, because obviously I'm still wearing my faja. I'm still wearing my faja all day, except for right now, but I do depend on my faja now. So, you know, the faja kind of like, your waist, you know, after the swallowing goes down, then you are required to change fajas or even alter them, which is not free. So keep that in mind, that that's an extra expense. Okay, so things I wish I knew before surgery, and even though if I knew them, I don't think it would have changed my mind, you know, I'm going through this whole procedure. This is something that I wanted for me, so I don't think there's nothing that would have made me change my mind. But I wish I knew, you know, that I was going to depend on the faja, because even though, you know, I'm about to be 5 months, I still depend on my faja. The faja, once I take off my faja, my body does not look the same. Keep that in mind, okay? Because your body will not look the same. And the faja snatches you all the way, you know? And I feel like that's what I asked for, you know? But I wish I would have looked like that without it. I mean, even though like now, you know, I look better, but yeah, the faja just definitely becomes your best friend. And you know, after being off for a while, you do swell up. So yeah. And you know, another thing that I wish I knew is that my skin was going to be very sensitive to this day, you know, like my whole back and my whole lower stomach, it's very sensitive. I cannot be without my faja and then like have my covers or anything rub, because it burns. It has like that burning sensation. It's weird. But I didn't know that, you know. I knew that it was going to take a whole year to heal, but I didn't know that the whole numbing and the whole sensation, I wasn't gonna have my sensation till then. I mean, even till then, you know, I don't know if I'm gonna get my sensation back. So that's a risk that you're gonna take with the whole tummy tuck. Another thing that I wish I would have known is that oh yeah, so another thing I wish I knew was that, you know, like till now, if I'm standing up for too long or I'm just being very active, like my legs swell up. And you know, at the beginning, that was a big thing. My feet will be super swollen. But yeah, so it's crazy. It's crazy. And I just wish, you know, like, yeah, I wish I would have known that, because even with my stockings, you know, because you're required to wear the compression socks, even with them, they would have been super swollen. But other than that, I mean, everything else, I mean, I knew how this recovery was going to be, you know, a process. But yeah. Oh, and another thing was the stretch marks. I did started getting stretch marks about 3 to 4 weeks post-op. I started getting stretch marks, and it's so weird, you know, because if you're someone that went to get the tummy tuck to get rid of stretch marks, and now you have to deal with new stretch marks, I mean, I would have been upset, you know. But I mean, for me, it doesn't bother me. The stretch marks are like right there by my incision, so it don't really bother me. But I mean, yeah, it kind of sucks, you know, that you went through all of this and now you have stretch marks. So based on the reading that I did was because obviously, you know, you're very swollen the first 2 months. You're super swollen. So your skin doesn't have any room to stretch. So now you have all of that stretch marks coming out, and yeah, so now they're there. But those are things I wish I knew before having surgery. But yeah, so now for the best part, seeing the results. Now let me tell you another thing that I, you know, forgot to mention. If you are thinking about going this procedure, make sure that you are patient. I mean, it's something that's going to take time. Don't think that you're gonna go in there and walk out looking like what you have in mind looking like, you know. It's nothing like that. It's a whole process. I mean, at the end of the day, once everything is healed, you know, you're going to love the results and you're going to feel amazing. But at the moment, just take it day by day. Be patient. Just know that, you know, you're going to be in a whole roller coaster of emotions, because one day you wake up, you look at yourself and you look amazing, you know, you're loving what you see, but then there's some other days that you're like questioning everything and questioning if this was the right thing to do, you know, because now, at least for me, you know, there was those days I was like, why did I even do this if I'm going to look worse? Because, you know, everything's so swollen, and now I have a whole cut, like a whole scar, you know, going from one place to the other. So it was just awful. But you know, overall, I am so thankful that I didn't get depressed, because I know there's a lot of girls that get depression. And yeah, I did get very emotional though. Like, I would have been, you know, crying because I wasn't able to move by myself. I wasn't able to reach for things. I wasn't able to do things on my own. But that just got me, you know, my hormones all crazy. So I would cry out of nowhere. But other than that, everything else has been very smooth. I'm loving what I see now. And just know that, you know, that at the end, you're going to love what you see, and everything that you're going through, you know, it's temporary. It's temporary. At the end of the day, at the end of the whole healing process, you're going to love yourself even more, you know. But yeah. So now for the fun part, like I said, show you guys my results, since I know a lot of you guys have been wanting to see. So I'm pretty sure if you guys see my cooking videos, you guys have seen me. And most of the time I have my faja, because like I said, you kind of depend on it. And this dress fits me a little big, so it kind of messes up, but this is what I look like. Yeah. So this is what I look like. Like I said, I didn't want nothing crazy. I want to have a very natural look. I want to be able to, you know, if you look at me, you don't think that I got a whole BBL, you know. I didn't want people to look at me and be like, damn, you know, she needs a refund. You know what I mean? But overall, this is what I wanted. This is what I got. I was just concerned about my hip dips, which they're gone. And then my waist. See? So that's that. Again. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. You know, if I knew that I was going to get the same results, and that I was going to have a smooth recovery, and everything was going to go the way it did, then I would have done it again, you know, because I mean, yeah, the process at first, you know, I was like questioning, like, why did I even do it? You know, especially get the tummy tuck and the BBL at the same time. It's tough. It's tough because that is the hardest part of this whole procedure, not being able to be comfortable at all. There's no such thing as being comfortable, even though you buy all of these other things, you know, the mattress, the chair, the pillows, a whole bunch of pillows. There's nothing that will make you comfortable at the beginning, you know. So the first month for me was just the worst, and it went by so slow, but I made it. Now we're here. Now we're here. But yeah, at that time it was just the worst. But other than that, everything else went by so good. I am so happy. I'm happy with the result. Like I said, I got what I wanted, and like I said, this was something that I wanted for me, not for my neighbor. So yeah, that's all it matters at the end of the day. So if that's something that you want, then do it, you know, do it. This is one thing I say, if you are like, if your mind, I don't know how to say it, but if you are unhappy, you know, like in your heart, your mind, then even if you go through this whole procedure, you're not gonna be happy, you know. So just make sure that you're good. You're good, you know, even without the surgery, that you're happy, because I guarantee you that if you are unhappy and you get this whole procedure, it's just not gonna make a difference. Okay, so just be happy. And if it's what it is, if it's what you want, then do it. Just make sure that you have the support, because I feel like that makes this whole journey even smoother and easier when you have the support from that, you know, that family member, your husband, your best friend, your mom, anyone. Just have the one person, because that one person is going to make the difference. For me, you know, my husband was there with me since day one, and it didn't make me feel like I was a barren or like making me feel bad, you know. So everything was smooth. So that does make a difference. It definitely does. But do it. Just be prepared, you know. Another thing, be financially prepared, at least for me, you know, because I did wish I knew that. I wish that, and I don't think nobody talks about it. And I see, you know, it's money. Nobody likes to talk about money, but it is important. It is important in the recovery, especially because I remember when we came back from Mexico, you know, I was not prepared at all. So I didn't have my BBL pillow. I didn't have all of the other things, you know, that was necessary. So yeah, so we ended up coming back and had to buy a lot of things just so I can be comfortable, which there's no such thing as that. Especially because I couldn't sleep on my knees for more than 30 minutes, and the most I was able to sleep in was 4 hours. That was it. After that, I was in a lot of pain. You know, my back just hurting me so bad. But that's just another, you know, topic. If you want me to talk about fajas and sleeping, what helped me sleep better, and all of that other stuff. One thing I personally regret buying, or having Louis buy, and that's one thing that he bought on his own, was the walker. The walker, I feel like it was not necessary, and I am so happy I didn't use it, because I feel once you start using it, you depend on it, you know. So don't buy the walker, you know. Try to do everything, you know, on your own pace. Obviously, you know, when you get a tummy tuck, you cannot stand up straight, but do it slow. Take your time. Don't force anything, you know, but don't depend on the walker, because I feel like I would have depended on the walker, and then that just would have made my healing process lower. But I don't know, that was just my experience, you guys. Like I said, if you want to know anything else, make sure that you leave them down in the comment section. I'm very open about this topic, and if I can help you, then, you know, it makes me even more happier. But yeah, I think this is it. I am so happy, you know, to be back on my vlogging. I'm not planning on disappearing, you know, but I didn't want to disappear. And obviously, if you've been following me on Instagram, you have been keeping up with me week by week. So I'm pretty sure ya los tengo enfadados allá, you know, because they see my process week by week. But I've been sharing my process there. But yeah, you guys, if you guys have questions, leave them down below. If you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you guys can be part of our family. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up, okay? Don't forget to give me that big thumbs up. But yeah, so I hope you guys had enjoyed watching. So I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye.